So Samsung just released a few new phones, one of which is this S22 Plus. And here's the thing, while I was watching their keynote, I thought they did the S22 dirty. In their hour-long keynote, they spent less than 10 minutes talking about the S22 and the S22 Plus, and 3 of those minutes were spent on like a cheesy short film. But after spending a little bit of time with my hands on this phone, I can kind of understand why. From a design standpoint, it looks very similar to last year's S21. It's got that same rounded corner camera bump that's become a little bit iconic. However, it is a tiny bit bigger this year to fit a larger 50 megapixel camera, and it is color matched to the rest of the body, which I do like. They sent me this like rose gold pinkish color, which definitely does look nice. It's just not really my cup of tea, so I'll be tossing on this white case that they sent along with it for my time testing this phone. It's got a nice little green strap with some S22 branding on it, which is very cool. The biggest difference design-wise is actually in how it feels. They flattened the side and top rails of this phone a lot. Now, not quite to the level of the iPhone 13, which is like perfectly flat, but it's a lot less round on the sides, and I personally like it. Couldn't tell you why I like it, but I do. It just kind of feels right. You also get Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on the back of the S22 Plus and the regular S22 as well this year, so build quality has been improved overall all the way around. The glass is like a matte texture that doesn't pick up fingerprints very easily, and it's soft to the touch too, which is very nice. Last year's S21 had a plastic back, which I didn't mind, and it actually has a few advantages over glass, but there's no doubt that this year's S22 will feel more premium in the hand if you're one of those people that prefer to go caseless. Around the front, you do get a very similar display as last year, although it is a tiny bit smaller at 6.6 inches versus last year's 6.7. Still has 120 Hz, still is an AMOLED display, still has that same middle hole punch cutout for the 10 megapixel front-facing camera. All great stuff, no complaints here. The S22 Plus didn't really need an upgrade in this department, and Samsung didn't really give it one. It is supposedly brighter this year at over 1700 in its peak, so I guess there is a small upgrade, but nothing significant. According to the keynote, the upgrades that Samsung was most proud of with the S22 series this year seem to be in the camera system. Now, the ultra-wide camera seems to be the same 12 megapixel f2.2 as we got last year, but the other two have been changed. Instead of a 12 megapixel camera, we get a 50 megapixel f1.8, which Samsung claims is better in low light and is much sharper because of that extra resolution from that sensor. I haven't really spent enough time with the phone yet to definitively tell you if the cameras are good or not, but from the photos that I've taken so far, yeah, the wide and ultra wide cameras are pretty good. The HDR can get a little bit aggressive in outdoor shots, but other than that, it's pretty reliable with good sharpness across the board. The telephoto in this phone has actually been downgraded though, at least it seems that way on paper. It went from a 64 megapixel telephoto on last year's S21 series to a 10 megapixel this year. So it seems like they swapped the high resolution sensor from the telephoto to the wide angle camera, which I think was a good move overall since the wide angle camera is the one you'll be using the most. What surprised me was how good the front-facing camera is. It's got a load of detail and resolution to it, dynamic range and HDR are great, colors are good, and I have very, very little to complain about. Samsung talked about the fact that they've improved their portrait modes in both photo and video, and I can tell that they've really refined the algorithm that determines what's supposed to be in focus and what's supposed to be blurred. I think the next step is to actually increase the video resolution of that mode though, because the 1080p image doesn't look the best when you blow it up on like a larger screen like a laptop or a TV, especially with how over-sharpened it is. The internals of the S22 Plus have been changed around this year as well. The North American market will be getting the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. There's probably not a huge upgrade over last year's Snapdragon 888, but hey, better is better, I suppose. What's not better is the battery capacity this year. They went from a 4800 milliamp hour battery in the S21 down to a 4500 milliamp hour battery. Now the phone is slightly smaller this year, but that's almost a 9.5% decrease in battery capacity. Hopefully the new Snapdragon chip is more power efficient so that we don't see much of a drop in overall battery life, but that's something I'll just have to test in the coming weeks. The upside is that the S22 Plus does have a faster charging speed than last year, up to 45 watts via the USB-C port, provided that you bring your own charging brick to supply it, of course, given that the phone doesn't actually come with one. Like I said, I was initially surprised that they spent less than 10 minutes on the S22 and the S22 Plus, but I kind of get it now. It seems like a great phone, don't get me wrong. It's just a little bit iterative when compared to last year's devices. The Ultra this year is where a lot of the exciting stuff happens, and I have that phone pre-ordered, so keep an eye out for that review coming soon. Hope you liked the video, thanks for watching, and as always, Have a great day.